Hi Josh, I'm here to give you some feedback on your research project part 1 assignment. Right now the mark probably looks a little bit low to you. It's 14 out of 25, but it's actually because I need you to redo the second section of the assignment. And so that mark is going to be higher once you finish that section of the assignment. If you let me explain, part 1 was worth 15 marks. And so when I went through each of your sources, I have to compliment you and say you took really good notes on each of the sources. Your first source, I scored you 5 out of 5 because you had a very good, you clearly were able to find the main idea of the book. You had very good notes, and you also chose very good quotes as well. There was one thing here I didn't understand. I had a feeling that maybe it was the in-text citation from the quote. So you were quoting another quote that you read in the book, but otherwise you chose very useful quotes and you had a very good way of putting it into your own words. Your second source, I scored 4 out of 5, and that was only because I felt like the main idea was very specific, and I wasn't sure if the main idea is the actual point of the journal article based on my reading. I know you might have found this in the abstract, and so sometimes it's good to understand in the abstract, that paragraph that summarizes the journal article. Sometimes they talk about what's the main idea, and then sometimes they talk about sort of the outcomes or consequences because they're trying to summarize the article. So I don't know if this was the best description of the main idea, but again, you took wonderful sources. You have very good statistics that you can use in your research presentation, and you chose very good quotes as well, and so I was very impressed with that. Finally, the last source, I gave you 5 out of 5, and I have the same comments. You had a clear main idea that you found inside the website, and then you chose very good notes and very good quotes as well. So the first section was worth 15 marks, and you got 14 out of 15. The second section here is worth 10 marks, and this is where I want to clarify a little bit because I can see there was a little bit of confusion. The marking scheme for the second section, I'm looking at the way people follow the rules of APA citation. And so what you've done is you've put your sources in the order alphabetically, and then here you decided to put in the other details, but this is not how I want the information presented. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use one of your sources as an example and show you through this video what I would like you to do for section 2 of the assignment. So let's say we're starting with this source, which is the book. Actually, let's go with this source, the journal article. So I'm going to go to Microsoft Word, which I have open here. And what I'm going to do is go to references. So you see how we have the different tabs in Microsoft Word. I want you to go to references and then go to insert or bibliography. So I want you to go first to insert citation, add a new source. So this is where you're going to choose the sources that are on your assignment and input them into Microsoft Word. So this first one is a journal article. I'm going to go to Microsoft Word and select here journal article. And then this will allow me to fill in the information. So if I go back to your assignment, I have Lynn McIntyre and Susan Gallis-Sloot. So I'm going to put Lynn McIntyre, and who's the other author? Susan Gallis-Sloot. And the title of your source is Hunger in Canada. The journal name is the Canadian Medical Journal Association. Canadian Medical Journal Association. and the year is 2008. The page numbers here are missing. Ideally, you would have the page numbers if you have that information. If you don't have that information, it's fine. But it's usually best to put page numbers for a journal article. So if I press OK, you'll notice that this is an in-text citation. This is not the actual final bibliography. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to remove that. Once you add all of your sources by going Add New Source, you would go to this button, Bibliography, and then choose the style of bibliography that you want. So I'm just going to choose this first one, and you'll see that it creates the reference list for me. And so in order to get 10 out of 10, you would want to make sure that you include all the information needed. So here, for example, either having the page numbers or the website would allow me to give you the full marks for the citation. And so I know right now that this assignment says 14 out of 25, but it could very easily be 24 out of 25 if you finish part 2 of this assignment, which I'm sure you're going to do, and I'm sure you're going to do a great job. So I don't want you to get scared with the number 14. I know that already you're probably going to get an A on this assignment. I just need you to finish part 2 and create the references list.